Thomas, as far as I know, you haven't spoken to your daughter since 2018, around the time of the wedding, when you went into hospital.
This is actually the first time I've heard her speak in 4 years, about 4 years.
Never met Harry. You've never met your grandson, Archie.
Right.
I mean, it's an extraordinarily sad family situation, putting aside the fact there's royalty involved.
The A-list rejected her. The royals disowned her. Now Paris has humiliated her. Can you believe this? Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, the woman who once took Hollywood and royalty by storm, has just had the most humiliating week of her entire post-royal life. And honestly, the fallout is nothing short of brutal. Meghan Markle just experienced what might be the most humiliating week of her post-royal career, and the fallout is absolutely brutal. So picture this. Meghan jets off to Paris Fashion Week, totally expecting that red carpet fairy tale moment. You know, cameras flashing, celebrities swarming her, designers throwing air kisses, people shouting her name. This was supposed to be her big comeback, her grand re-entry into the world of glam, power, and luxury. But instead, oh, it turned into a total PR catastrophe. Imagine this. The Duchess of Sussex jets off to Paris Fashion Week expecting a hero's welcome. Red carpets, flashing cameras, air kisses from every direction. Instead, she walks straight into a storm of awkward silences and icy stares. Her big comeback moment turned into one of the most cringeworthy PR disasters of her life. I mean, this was supposed to be Meghan's redemption arc, the look at me now moment. She was there to support a designer friend, sit front row, smile for the cameras, and show the world that she could still own the spotlight. But beneath all that glam was something darker, a relationship that screamed business deal instead of friendship. This was supposed to be Meghan's redemption arc, supporting a designer friend, gracing the front row, smiling for the cameras, the perfect PR fairy tale, but behind the glamour was something much darker, a desperate transaction masquerading as a friendship. And soon, the whispers started. The fashion world began comparing notes, and guess what? No one could find any real proof that Meghan and Balenciaga's creative director were ever friends. No old photos, no mutual follows, not even a random dinner sighting. It looked like a totally manufactured PR setup, and everyone could see right through it. Fashion insiders quickly began comparing notes. The supposed friend, Balenciaga's creative director, had no public history with Meghan. No red carpet photos together, no social media engagement, nothing. The so-called bond looked manufactured and the cracks were showing. Then when the footage dropped online, oh my god, the fashion community pounced. Commentators were living for the drama. One editor even whispered that it looked like two strangers forced into a photo op and that the designer's face said everything, polite but distant, like he couldn't wait to get away. When the footage hit the internet, fashion commentators had a field day. It looked like two strangers forced into a photo op, one editor whispered. The designer's expression said it all, polite but distant, as if he couldn't wait to move on. And don't even get me started on that outfit, the shapeless all-white gown. Critics tore it apart, calling it a desperate grab at symbolism, and worse, a failed Diana cosplay. The brand got their headlines, sure, Meghan got her spotlight, but not the one she wanted. And the outfit, that strange, shapeless all-white gown, only amplified the narrative. Critics called it a desperate attempt at symbolism and a failed Diana cosplay. The fashion house got their headlines and Meghan got her spotlight, but not the kind she wanted. Within hours, gossip blogs were exploding. People were accusing Balenciaga of scraping the bottom of the celebrity barrel, that after all their scandals, they'd turn to Meghan because no one else wanted the heat, and honestly, that collaboration screamed one word louder than any designer label could: desperation. Within hours, blogs and gossip pages were exploding with accusations that Balenciaga was scraping the celebrity barrel. After years of controversy, they'd allegedly turned to Meghan because nobody else wanted the association. And for Meghan, the collaboration screamed one word louder than any designer label could: desperation. But hold on, it gets even juicier. Word on the street is that the Kardashians themselves had been plotting to give Meghan's image a makeover. Can you imagine that crossover? Kris Jenner allegedly met with Meghan's mom, Doria Ragland. Khloe supposedly sent a fancy gift basket. It looked like a full-blown Kardashian-style rebrand in the making. Here's where things get even juicier. Word on the street is that the Kardashians, yes, the Kardashian empire, had been quietly working behind the scenes to save Meghan's crumbling image. Kris Jenner supposedly met with Doria Ragland, Meghan's mother. Khloe reportedly sent a gift basket from her brand. It looked like a carefully choreographed comeback operation. And honestly, it made sense. The Kardashians are the queens of scandal management. They can turn drama into dollars overnight. If anyone could revive Meghan's reputation, it was Kris Jenner. But guess what? The plan fizzled before it even started. And it made sense, right? The Kardashians have built their empire on scandal management. They can spin controversy into cash faster than anyone alive. alive. If anyone could rebrand Meghan, it was Kris Jenner. But here's the thing, the plan fizzled before it even began. Because when Paris Fashion Week hit, not one Kardashian was seen with Meghan. No Kim selfie, no Kris Jenner photo op, no Instagram story shout out, absolutely nothing. The silence from America's most publicity-hungry family, deafening. Notice how not one Kardashian was seen with Meghan in Paris. No Kim selfie, no Kris photo op, no Instagram reposts, nothing. The silence from America's most publicity-hungry family was deafening. And you know what insiders said? The Kardashians were testing the waters. They wanted to see if Meghan's Paris trip would be a win or a total disaster. When the backlash exploded, they ghosted. No comments, no mentions, just total icy silence. Industry insiders whispered that the Kardashians were testing the waters, waiting to see if Meghan's Paris appearance would be a triumph or a train wreck. When the backlash exploded, they quietly stepped back. No mentions, no statements, just silence. And that's when everyone realized, if even the Kardashians won't stand beside you, the same Kardashians who live off controversy, that's not just a bad look. That's a full-on industry rejection. And if even the Kardashians, the queens of controversy, won't risk their image to stand beside you, that's not just a PR problem. That's a full-blown industry rejection. And then Meghan did the unthinkable. Fresh off that Balenciaga embarrassment, Meghan tried to distract from the mess. She posted this video, lounging in a luxury car, feet propped up, looking carefree as she cruised through Paris. Harmless, right? Until people realized where she was filming, near the Pont de l'Alma tunnel, the same tunnel where Princess Diana died in 1997. Fresh off the awkward Balenciaga encounter, she posted a video of herself lounging in a luxury car, feet propped up, cruising through the streets of Paris, smiling, carefree. It looked like any influencer post until people realized one horrifying detail. She was filming near the Pontalma tunnel, the same tunnel where Princess Diana died in 1997. The backlash was immediate. People were horrified. Royal fans called it disgusting. Even Meghan's usual defenders couldn't spin this one. Commentators slammed her, saying, "It's either ignorance or cruelty. There's no in between." The backlash was instant and merciless. Royal fans called it disgusting. Even Meghan's sympathizers were stunned by the insensitivity. It's either ignorance or cruelty. There's no in between. One royal commentator tweeted, "It didn't matter how anyone tried to explain it. The optics were awful. Diana's death site turned into a backdrop for influencer content. It felt tone-deaf, almost exploitative. If Meghan truly wanted to honor Diana, she could have done so privately, respectfully. Instead, it looked like a publicity stunt. And this time, even her loyal fans couldn't defend her. That moment didn't just tank her PR, it crushed her credibility. To many, it felt like she was exploiting the legacy of the woman she's always been accused of copying. And if that wasn't enough, things were about to get even worse. It wasn't just an awkward PR stumble. It felt like a symbolic betrayal. People couldn't believe it. Meghan Markle, the same woman who once received humanitarian awards for child protection and empathy, was now being accused of exploiting Diana's memory for clout. But wait, the storm wasn't done brewing. Critics began ripping her apart over something else, the jaw-dropping hypocrisy of her fashion choices. The Duchess, who preached child safety, was now sitting front row at Balenciaga. Yes, the same brand that had been torn apart for controversial ads involving children in disturbing adult-themed imagery. The irony was so loud it practically screamed across the internet. The internet lost its mind. How can you preach child safety while supporting that brand? Journalists fumed. Meghan Markle, Humanitarian of the Year, advocate for children's rights, had chosen that show to attend. The contradictions were impossible to ignore. The backlash was instant and merciless. Royal fans called it disgusting. Even Meghan's sympathizers were stunned by the insensitivity. It's either ignorance or cruelty. There's no in between. One royal commentator tweeted, "Everywhere headlines dragged her." Hypocrite trended for days. Parents who once admired her turned away, calling her fake, performative, out of touch. The Duchess of Compassion had become the Duchess of Contradiction. Even with new leadership, Balenciaga was still toxic territory. Meghan could have worn Dior, Chanel, anything. But she chose the one brand guaranteed to spark outrage. And that single choice made her look exactly how tabloids have long painted her. Calculating, careless, and disconnected. Whispers in fashion circles said it plainly. She's lost the plot. Then came another blow. Anna Wintour. Once intrigued by Meghan, even featuring her in Vogue, Anna now had nothing to say. No invite, no acknowledgement, nothing. She attended Dior, Chanel, Valentino, surrounded by stars, but when it came to Meghan Markle, Silence. For Anna, silence is the snub. She doesn't have to diss you publicly, she just erases you. And in fashion, invisibility is the ultimate insult. Insiders say Anna now sees Meghan as too messy, too risky, too unpredictable. The Balenciaga scandal, the Diana video, it's all too much. Anna's moved on. Meghan's been left behind. At Paris Fashion Week, the scene turned sadder. Celebs mingled, laughed, went viral, while Meghan sat alone. No selfies, no friendly chats, no buzz. PR teams were allegedly steering clients away from her. She's unpredictable. You don't want your name trending for the wrong reasons. The irony? Meghan went to Paris to prove she still mattered, but the silence proved she didn't. Even influencers who pose with anyone stayed clear. No one wanted Meghan Markle's kind of attention. Online, people tore her fashion apart, calling her gown shapeless, pajamas, ghost costume, failed Diana cosplay. The woman once hailed as stylish now looked like she was trying to be luxury instead of living it. It's heartbreaking, really. Hollywood once adored her. When she and Harry signed that massive Netflix deal, fans expected iconic projects and A-list collaborations. Instead, it's been documentaries about themselves. And Hollywood got bored, fast. Now insiders say nobody wants to work with the Sussexes. Everything becomes about them. One producer sighed. Even Spotify, which paid millions for her podcast, dropped them. Executives allegedly calling them grifters. The buzzword around town? Brand fatigue. The story's over. The audience has moved on. And while Meghan's Paris dream crumbled, the royal family soared. Prince William appeared calm and composed in an interview about family and resilience. He never named names, but the message was clear. We rise above. By the time Meghan's jet left Paris, the narrative was set. Her comeback had become a PR disaster. The fashion world froze her out, Hollywood stopped calling, even the Kardashians went quiet. Then came Harry's conveniently timed security scare. The public didn't buy it. Critics called it classic Sussex distraction. But people are done playing along. Meghan Markle, once a symbol of rebellion and grace, now looks like someone desperate to control a story that no longer belongs to her. She wanted to prove she still mattered. Instead, she proved she doesn't. Paris was meant to be her rebirth. It became her reckoning. The A-list has moved on. The royals have moved forward. The public, they've lost interest. Her brand, once built on compassion and charm, now feels hollow and overexposed. And in Hollywood, once you're labeled toxic, doors don't just close, they disappear. So now the question lingers. Is this the end of Meghan Markle's Hollywood dream? Or can she somehow rise again, one last time? Because if Paris proved anything, it's this. The Duchess may have finally lost her crown in the court of public opinion. And this time, no amount of PR spin can save her. PR spin.